What I thought we could practice today and kind of focus our attention on is on how to calm down anxiety. Doctors and nurses especially are going through a lot of stress because they haven't been able to shelter since the beginning of the pandemic. And every day is very stressful. And then at night, they are facing again another day like that. And they are seeing casualties even among their own group. One of my ex-students from the Berkeley Buddhist Monastery, who is a doctor, she was sharing how overwhelmed and powerless she feels to cope with all this. I mean, they try their best. Often they don't succeed and they have very little resources. And also sometimes there is flaring of anger because of the accumulated stress that they are all going through. So she said, she remembered that we used to do this loving kindness meditation at the monastery, and said, would you mind sending us some of that kindness and good wishes? And I said, of course, I'll do it in all of the workshops that I will be doing. And it's something that also we, even out of the hospitals, maybe be wanting to do as a way of remembering the people that are going through difficulties, people that we know closely and other people that we just come across when we go shopping, the cashiers, the people that help to put the things in the shelves, and the people that are, we don't come across them, but the people that are gathering the harvest for us to be able to eat something, many of them Latinos, maybe many of them immigrants, many of them with no access to public health. So one of the practices we are going to do is an adaptation of the loving kindness meditation for this coronavirus time. But before we do that, we are going to practice on calming anxiety in our own lives and having a few practices that we can use any day to ground ourselves and to let go of anxiety, because I'm sure each of you also is going through these processes and is being impacted by the pandemic in some way. So some of the things we are going to be sharing today, we have seen before, some of them are new. One of the places that I always go to when I'm overwhelmed or feeling very sad, it's a point here in the center of the breastbone. There is a point, an acupressure point, an acupuncture point. It's called Sea of Tranquility. And if you go along the breastbone and you go down, you find an indentation more or less a little bit higher than the nipples, probably for most of us, because its placement of the nipples changes with age. So, but the indentation is always there. So you just go along your breastbone and find that indentation. And what we can do is touch it with our middle finger, which is the longest and strongest, or even better, use the center of our palms. We all have these healing palms that are recognized in many ancient traditions, Indian, Chinese, Japanese, and many of them talk about the healing hands. So we all have them. It's just that we are not made aware of them and we don't often practice. But we know, even if I invite you to right now, put your hands on your chest gently, more or less where your heart is, a little bit more to the center, and covering that point, the Sea of Tranquility point. And you will see that just the gesture of bringing our hands that are always engaged with the world towards ourselves, a moment of coming back home, of acknowledging our own difficulties and challenges, and having compassion for ourselves, and just for a moment kind of nurturing ourselves and calming down, allowing our body and our mind to calm down by bringing the hands there and having a few deep breaths, like sighing. When I say deep breath, it's not a forceful breath. It's a deep in the sense that you relax your body and you inhale like sighing, and so they doesn't stay up here, which is what happens sometimes when people do deep breath. They go, and it's just going here. If it goes here, it stimulates the sympathetic nervous system, which is the one of fight, flight, or freeze. We want to relax all this area. Inhale like sighing. If necessary, put the hands at the side of your ribs so that when you inhale in a relaxed way, you can sense that the air is coming down at least to intercostal area, the ribs area, and sometimes even all the way down to abdomen. It depends of your breathing patterns. So we are going to put our hands here. We are going to inhale slowly, gently, and deeply like sighing with the intention of the air going down in our body, which is a more relaxed way of breathing. So again, inhaling slowly, gently, and deeply like sighing. And as we exhale, we bring in our abdomen and let go of the air. So let's start again. And we are going to start this time by exhaling first to make sure that we know that in this kind of breathing, the exhalation starts by bringing the abdomen in. And you can feel the abdomen being contracted a little bit. You can even pull with the muscles of the pelvic floor up so that you can feel the contraction of this area of your abdomen, just to become a little bit more aware of it. And then relaxing that contraction and allowing the abdomen to be soft belly. You will see that the air comes, because then there is more space for the air come in. And then again, let's do the exhalation by bringing our abdomen in and even contracting a little bit the pelvic floor and all that area so that all the air is pushed out. And then we relax the abdomen and also pelvic floor. There is more space and the air naturally comes in. We want to train our breathing so that the air comes down not only to the area of the ribs, but also to the area of the abdomen, because the lungs are like sacs, like this. There is more space for them to exchange oxygen with the blood. And it's also more relaxing. This kind of abdominal breath, intercostal and abdominal breath, trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the one that is about relaxing and resting. So all that being said, let's again practice by starting by exhaling, bringing the abdomen in and contracting a little bit the pelvic floor. And then we relax the abdomen and the pelvic floor, and we do a soft inhale like sighing, the air comes down. When the time comes to exhale, we bring the abdomen in again and contract the pelvic floor, just to get a little bit of a more awareness of this part of our body. Again, contracting abdomen and pelvic floor and then relaxing it. And that's the rhythm that's going to be happening as we exhale. We are going to bring now the abdomen a little bit in, but we start contracting the pelvic floor and then loosening the abdomen and more air comes. And a major muscle that's working on all this is the diaphragm, which is under the sacs of the lungs. And the diaphragm acts like a parachute. So when we exhale, the parachute comes up and the abdomen is in. When the abdomen is relaxed, the parachute comes down and the lungs relax more and can get more air. And again, every time we exhale, the parachute comes up. And when we exhale, it comes down and it spreads. And it gives at the same time a massage to the organs of the abdomen, which is very good because we often carry tension in the abdomen. So this form of breathing, this diaphragmatic breathing, is very relaxing. And that's what we are going to be practicing for a moment, okay? So let's try again. We are going to start by exhaling, bringing the abdomen in a little bit. Exhaling, letting the air go out through the nose. And then the air comes in through the nose and the abdomen is loosened so that there is capacity to bring the air down here. When the time comes to exhale, again, we bring the abdomen in and exhale through the nose. When the time comes to inhale, we loosen the abdomen, the air comes in, we inhale, the air comes all the way down. And again, let's do 5 of this. This is very relaxing, very grounding. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhale, exhaling, inhale. So notice what a sense of tranquility you have when you do this kind of breathing. Another thing that's happening is that we often are in our head. And so this is a way to bring our attention and intention and our energy down to the area of the abdomen, to the area where we can feel grounded and safe. So let's do 2 more of this diaphragmatic breathing, starting with exhaling, bringing the abdomen in, exhaling through the nose, inhaling through the nose, abdomen comes out, diaphragm goes down, exhaling, abdomen in, diaphragm goes up, we exhale through the nose. And one last time, inhaling through the nose, exhaling. Okay, so let's see if you can do it on your own. Let's do 2 or 3 of these just on your own. So I'm going to be silent and you're just, imagine that you're at home and you want to practice. What was it we were practicing on Wednesday in our post one-on-one? Oh yeah, we were doing that diaphragmatic breath. Let me see if I can do it. Okay, spine straight, body relaxed. Start by exhaling, abdomen comes in. Soft, deep inhale as the abdomen comes out. And continue at your own pace, having a sense of grounding. So this is a kind of breathing you can also do at night when you are in bed. Just gently put your hands on your abdomen and notice when you exhale, you bring your abdomen in, and when you inhale, the abdomen comes up a little bit and you can feel the slight movement of your hands going up and down. This is the way babies breathe in the cot. It's a very good way to ground yourself in these times when there is so much uncertainty and fear. So that's a very good place. We had also practiced the Sea of Tranquility point just a moment ago. Sometimes you may feel grief for so many losses that are happening right now. Grief maybe for somebody who died during the pandemic or before the pandemic. Whatever losses we have experienced in our life, sometimes they feel even more acute in these times of uncertainty. And so there are 2 points that you can use when you feel overwhelmed with grief. And these points are lung 1, beginning of lung meridian. The path of the lung meridian kind of starts here and it goes here and out here. And the lung meridian in the Chinese medicine, it's related to grief in the sense that grief particularly affects the lungs. So that's again something we want to take care of always, and especially now since the pandemic, the coronavirus also particularly affects the lungs. So it will be like a continuous circle of one being already weak with issues of grief, and then the possible getting the infection, and then that makes you again more going to deeper states of grief too, and the fear that so many people have when they get sick. because we don't know enough about this sickness to know exactly how to get over it. And of course, in the hospitals, it's not possible to receive visitors, to not increase the chances of contagion. So many people are not only terrified of being at the hospital, the ones that are already there, but they are also grieving. If you know of anyone who has coronavirus, or if you yourself or somebody else has these issues of grief, these are some good points to practice. And even if you don't have any of these problems, sometimes when I have gone through moments of great sadness, I use these points and it really helps to rebalance. We are not repressing the emotions, we are not denying that they are there, we are embracing it. Okay, this is what I'm feeling right now, and having compassion for yourself and for the circumstances that you're going through. And at the same time, while being present with the emotion, working with these relief points so that you can get back to a sense of greater balance, so that you can be available for yourself and others. So these 2 points that we are going to be exploring and practicing for a moment here, lung 1, you find the groove where your arm connects with the chest. And then along that groove, well, you have the armpit right there. So you come like 4-finger breath from the upper edge of your armpit, and then 1 thumb in approximately, and you start kind of first start with one side, you start exploring around there, and your fingertips are like eyeballs in this case, but eyeballs through touch. So you start exploring there until you find a point that's definitely much more sore than what is around it. And so that's the point. That's lung 1, beginning of the lung meridian here. And we have 1 on each side, so you can explore on your other side. Just for a moment, just go, okay, this is the groove. It's like 1 thumb in from the groove approximately, and more or less 4-finger breath from where the armpit start here. And so that gives you the area, and you start exploring, and for sure you will find 1 point that's much more sore than the rest of there. So once you have found the 2 points, we are going to put the hands again covering the area of where the Sea of Tranquility point is. So we are having a double whammy of protecting and nourishing ourselves, and move the hands a little bit out so that our middle finger can locate those lung 1 points. Okay, so just find them. And then for a moment, we are going to combine these release points with breathing. We are going to first exhale, and then inhale like sighing. And exhale through the nose. And now you are mainly sensing the area of your heart and your lungs, inviting a sense of softening, of letting go of the congestion there, or whatever is burdening you because of issues of grief or other issues that you may be carrying in your heart right now. So we inhale like sighing, and when we exhale, we let go of what is burdening us. With great compassion for ourselves and for the situation in which we are. Softly pressing in lung 1 points. It's not about how hard you press, but bringing your attention and intention there to those points as you breathe softly, gently, and deeply, like sighing. And every time you exhale, you let go of what's burdening you. Let's do 3 more at your own pace. I'll be silent. Inhaling what can replenish you, exhaling what's burdening you. 2 more extra ones. Take inventory of how we feel right now and know that at any moment we can come back to these practices. They are very simple. There is also in the new paradigms a whole video about letting go of the old, taking in the new. And there are many regain hope. Now I would like for us to practice an adaptation of the loving kindness meditation, but especially dedicated to doctors and nurses and to many people who are suffering right now during the pandemic. Let's practice together. So we sit ourselves in a position that's comfortable for us, or you can lay down if that's more comfortable for you. Keep the spine straight. What happens when the spine is straight is that there is more space for the lungs and for all the organs to breathe more easily. It's greater sense of spaciousness, and that helps also to achieve a more calm state of relaxation. I was sharing with you about this student of mine who is a doctor and who is sharing how overwhelmed and powerless she felt. And that made me think of how could we practice the loving kindness meditation at this time, and how could we send these wonderful invocations that come from thousands of years old to people who are suffering right now. So we are going to start first with ourselves, and also something that I want to remind you, we have together classes on neuroplasticity, and you know that whatever is experienced, it's also registered at different levels, not only in our brain, but in our nervous system. And you also know, because we have read and discussed about this, that we all have mirror neurons that when we can see or visualize someone else in a certain state, our own inner space, our heart, our mind, our soul resonates with that. And many of you have experienced it too through doing volunteering with the community, and you know that this is true, right? So this is a similar experience. We have gone just a moment ago with practices to find inner peace, and now from that space of inner peace, we are going to share it with other people. And as we share it, we are not losing it, it just multiplies. Because when we are visualizing the person receiving this blessing, then we experience what we are visualizing her or him experiencing, which is having their burden a little bit lifted, or as much lifted as possible, right? So with that understanding, let's now practice the loving kindness meditation in adaptation for coronavirus times. So first, we are going to close our eyes like we always do for meditation, or leave them open, but not looking outside, just so that you don't get distracted with the surroundings. You can lower your gaze if you prefer not to close your eyes, and that's perfectly too. And then we are going to bring the attention inward by paying attention to 2 or 3 of our breaths, just noticing how we're breathing right now. And today we are going to start with ourselves. We are going to be wishing this invocation that comes from thousands of years to ourselves. And we are going to start by wishing ourselves, may I be filled with loving kindness. And imagine how does that feel? To be filled with loving kindness in these times is also to have compassion for yourself, for whatever circumstance you are, even if sometimes you feel that perhaps you are falling short and you cannot give all that you would like to give, and you are tired, exhausted, or fearful. And embracing all that and be filled with loving kindness first towards yourself, no judgment, and then also to others. May I be filled with loving kindness and sense how does that feel? It's kind of a general softening, a general coming back home, being at peace with ourselves and the present circumstances. May I be well in body and mind. And that's a longing that we all have. May I be well in body and mind. May I be well in body and mind can be said even if one is sick or has a pre-existing condition. It's just, may I have a sense of well-being within what my circumstance is. May my mind calm down, and so that my body can calm down, and may my body calm down so that my mind can calm down, because they are connected. May I be well in body and mind, and sensing how would that be? What would be that extra sense of being well in body and mind? May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. May I drop these inner dangers of my fears and my anger and other emotions that sometimes overrun us. And may I be safe from inner and outer dangers, also from dangers of infection, etc. But mainly taking care of ourselves externally and internally. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. And the last one, usually we say, may I be happy, but in these circumstances, we are going to say more, may I experience calm, inner strength, and peace. And imagine ourselves experiencing that right now. May I experience calm, inner strength, and peace. And don't worry about writing down this, but try to go through the experience, because only when you go through the experience, you will know what is it about. Otherwise, it will be a bunch of words in front of you. So may I experience calm, inner strength, and peace. And how would that be for you? One last time, because sometimes it takes some time to percolate in. May I experience calm, inner strength, and peace. And now we are going to bring to our mind a doctor or a nurse that we know, that maybe we knew from before the pandemic, someone that we know, and if we know their name, we are going to say their name too, and bring them into our heart and mind, knowing that they are going through a lot these days. The heroic effort of having to be there in the front lines 24/7, and then the fear of bringing the sickness to their families or homes. So bringing that person into mind and wishing her or him, may you be filled with loving kindness. And again, this loving kindness for herself or himself is also accepting that they are doing the best they can, and sometimes they feel powerless or overwhelmed, but having the compassion towards themselves of being filled with loving kindness, first for themselves and then also for others. Being able to experience some sense of relief. And then we bring the person again to our mind and imagine the person receiving this blessing. May you be well in body and mind. May you be able to rest, to ask for help, to receive help. You, this doctor or nurse, may you be well in body and mind. May the people around you be careful. May you be well in body and mind. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you feel protected. May you feel cared for. May you somehow experience this being safe from inner and outer dangers. And we imagine the person suddenly breathing a little bit more freely, receiving a little bit of a break or an extra sense of support in their daily life as doctors or nurses. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you be experiencing calm, inner strength, and peace. May you experience calm, inner strength, and peace, bathing this person with this blessing, coming to the rescue. May you experience calm, inner strength, and peace. From our heart, we send it to them. Visualize the person receiving it. And now we're going to visualize a person that we see when we go shopping or in the public, somebody that we don't know personally, probably we don't know their name, but they are there also helping us to be able to go on with our lives. Postman, gardener, cashier, so many people that continue to be doing their work and have a greater risk of infection and of infecting their families. We bring one person to our mind, knowing that they are feeling this extra burden and visualizing them wherever they are right now, probably working. We wish him or her, may you be filled with loving kindness towards yourself, appreciating yourself. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well in body and mind. May you not get infected. May you be well in body and mind. At the end of the day, may you find some peace. And during the day too, may people smile to you and see you as a human being. May you be well in body and mind. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. Okay, may you not get depressed and overwhelmed. May you not get infected. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you experience calm, inner strength, and peace. Imagining the person while doing their work, suddenly feeling a greater sense of relief, their burden lifted a bit. The circumstances are the same, but inside they are receiving this that we are sending from our heart. May you experience calm, inner strength, and peace. May you be treated in a way that replenishes you. May you be treated in a way that replenishes you. May you treat yourself also in a way that takes care of your needs. May you experience calm, inner strength, and peace. And finally, we are going to think of someone that we know that's close to our heart, maybe a relative or a friend or someone that you know that is going through a difficult time right now. Maybe they had a pre-existing condition, or they have been infected, or someone they care for has been infected, or they are going through great economic troubles. So we are bringing this person that we know their name, we know a little bit about their life. Our prayer goes to them. We visualize the person and we wish her or him May you be filled with loving kindness, imagining the person receiving the blessing. May you be filled with loving kindness towards yourself. May your burden be lifted. May you experience hope and be able to sustain care. May you be well in body and mind. We really wish this to this person that we know is struggling and send our caring towards them. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers, imagining the person receiving this. May you experience calm, inner strength, and peace, so that they can handle their circumstances in as much peace as possible. May you experience calm, inner strength, and peace, visualizing them receiving this. And we're going to close by again bringing this to ourselves and wish ourselves, may I be filled with loving kindness, imagining that. Now that we have been using our muscles of loving kindness, may I be filled with loving kindness. How would that feel? May I be well in body and mind, receiving this blessing. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers, being able to drop the extra burden that sometimes we create for ourselves, and also taking the necessary care. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. May I experience calm, inner strength, and peace. And visualizing ourselves experiencing that. I had thought I would teach you some movement, which is called the circle of light. So this movement comes from Qigong, and it's one of 5 Kriyas. It's the last one of the 5 Kriyas. Kriya means action, and it's an action to rebalance ourselves and also to receive the blessings from the earth and the heavens, and align ourselves with this continuum of body, mind, and spirit that we are, but it's also all around us in other sentient beings. Let's practice together the circle of light. It's very balancing. It's also very good for, from a physical point of view, to give a little bit more range of movement to our spine, but without forcing anything. If you would need to practice it sitting down, let me just show it for a moment sitting down, in case one of you would need to practice it sitting down. So the movement, we are going to be standing when we do it, but we bring the arms and hands to the side, and we are going to kind of bend forward. You can also do that if you are sitting. It's practice you can also do sitting. You bring your hands down, like gathering the energy of the earth, and then move it along the center of your body, and then the back of your hands are going to come like this, like in prayer. It feels to me very much like in prayer. And then we go up, and at the top, the hands are going to pivot, and then they are going to draw the circle of light around us. And then it starts again, gathering the energy from the earth, bringing it along the center of our body, more or less at this height. The hands are back to back, like in prayer, and we are looking up, opening to what the heavens are bringing us, and then bringing this circle of light. We are in the center of the circle of light, and then bending forward and receiving the energy also from the earth, and again moving it through. If for whatever reason you are sitting but you cannot move one of your arms, just move the arm that you can move if that's comfortable for you, and imagine that the other arm is meeting there, right? And then imagine that the circle is completed and you are sitting in the middle. So the main thing is to relax and to experience this sense of grounding and of centering. That's the beauty of this practice. Now let's practice standing. So we stand with the feet shoulder width apart, body straight and relaxed. We can rock a little bit forward and backward to feel the support of the soles of our feet. We can also bring our toes up a little bit and then down and grabbing the mat or the floor, just to have a little bit more of articulation in our feet. And that's another point of grounding, of really feeling the contact with the earth and the support that the earth always gives us. The other center of grounding is our abdomen, this area here, which has been recognized in many Asian cultures, like our center of balance within the body. The Japanese call it hara, the Chinese call it the lower field of the elixir, and in the Indian system of chakras, it would be more or less where Manipura chakra is. We are going to have this sense of grounding through the abdomen, so that while we do the movements, the movement comes really from this sense of centering, okay? Again, we stand with the feet shoulder width apart, body straight and relaxed, the head like a sphere, perfectly balanced on top of the sphere of the chest, and both of them on top of the sphere of the abdomen, and all that resting on the hips. The hands are by the side of the body, and we feel straight and relaxed, like if we had a column of energy that runs through the center of those three spheres, and that allows us to be straight, but the shoulders are relaxed, the arms are relaxed. Now the hands and arms are going to float up, and we are going to bend forward if that's comfortable for you, at whatever range is comfortable, that's okay. And then have the hands like scooping energy from the earth, receiving the energy from the earth, and bringing the hands together like in a receptacle, bringing that energy from the earth, bringing it along the front of the body. Then the hands are back to back like in prayer, and we are looking up, and now we are opening ourselves to receive what comes from the heavens. The hands pivot and they form like almost like a triangle, and that's when they are going to come down, forming this circle of light, and we are in the middle of it. We do it 3 times. Going down, coming up, moving this energy from the earth along ourselves, looking at the heavens, opening ourselves to receive what the heavens is sending to us, the warmth of the sun and the many things that are in our plate, and trusting that that's part of this awakening to greater understanding, to greater light. And one last time. We are in the center of the circle of light. Whenever the hands and arms come down, there is a relaxation that happens. Let's do 2 more at your own pace. I'm not going to talk. See if you can remember how it goes. And in the last one, we just let the hands and arms come down. And we bring our feet together, hands together, like in prayer, bringing the hands to the forehead. We remember one or two blessings in our life right now and let them be in our heart, experiencing the happiness, the gratefulness of these blessings being in our life right now. And also the blessing of our group coming together. Then we lower our hands to our heart and we center ourselves with a few breaths. And from here again, we send a wave of peace to someone who at this moment may be needing it. And imagine the person receiving it. And dedicating our practice to them today. Greet each other. And I'm going to come to you and we'll have a few minutes for talking. Any questions, comments? I mean, I thought it would be good to have some of these practices because they are simple. You can practice them, you can teach it to other people. I also want to tell you that I'm doing these things on Saturdays. I'm not going to have one on Saturday, 8th of August, because I'm teaching a workshop in Madonna from the 7th to 9th. And I would like to invite you also to come to the workshop. We are going to have a session on Friday from 5:30 to 7 to talk about what is classical yoga and medical Taoist Qigong and how they understand human being as a continuum of body, mind, and spirit, and how is that applied to recent discoveries of neurobiology and what they tell about the importance of this multi-dimensional approach. And also I'm going to be teaching some techniques to be able to sleep better. And then in the morning on Saturday, there is Arati, which is the ceremony of light, and that's optional. You can go or not to that. 10:30 to 12:30, we are going to be talking about the meridians, which are these rivers of energy in the body that come from acupuncture and acupressure. And I'm also going to teach you how to trace the meridians, which is another very wonderful practice because it helps for the energy to flow, and the meridians are related to vital organs, so to how to clear any possible congestion there and be in a more relaxed and flowing state. And then we have a break from 12:30 to 3, and we have another session from 3 to 5:30, and it's practices for vitality, resilience, and inner peace. And again, other practices that I think you and your friends might find very useful, that are very easy and powerful and simple to integrate in daily life. And finally, on Sunday, we have a 10 to 12 session on developing a daily practice. And we also have healing mantra session. Healing mantra is a mantra from the Vedas that's considered one of the most powerful mantras for healing oneself, but also for asking for healing for the world and somehow making sense of everything that's going on and for a good outcome for everyone, which is possible if we all work together.
Is this actually in person? Is this taking place at Mount Madonna Center or online?
Thank you for the question. So Mount Madonna is closed, like every major center, but everyone is closed. But we are doing this one online. So all the offerings that I do are totally for free. This one, because it's much more extended, and also Mount Madonna is also going through lots of economical troubles, like everyone, you know. We are charging 200, which is really minimum for what you would have to pay if it was a regular workshop. But yeah, I think it's if you want to develop a daily practice, this kind of workshop is really useful. because you are immersed into it. But, you know, there are also breaks. So yeah, it's going to be through Zoom, and there will be some teaching and also discussion at the end. Please let your friends know wherever in the world, you know, the wonderful thing about Zoom is
Yeah.
that anyone can. August 7th to 9th. I would love to see you there. Yeah. So do you have questions or comments?
I wanted to thank you, Amelia, for your exercise in using a mask properly. It is
Yeah.
took the anxiety away from wearing a mask. It just was amazing, that intention of breathing carefully and not panicking about not being able to get full nasal breaths. It just has helped a lot. So I want to thank you so much. It was the only time anybody's ever addressed the difficulties of wearing a mask. You're the only one.
Thank you. Yeah.
The thing about the mask, which is very important, I think we're going to see more and more the fact of confusion around wear the mask or not. I mean, I could do another one about what kind of masks are the best and how to use the mask so that it's really effective, and what are some of the real problems that do happen sometimes from wearing the mask for a long time, like acne and
rash.
yeah. I thank you very much for coming. I mean, it's really wonderful to see you.
Thank you. That was very useful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
okay.
and for those of us confused, are we getting together Friday? You did mention Friday, 5:30 to 7?
Oh, the one I was mentioning about Friday, 5:30 to 7 on August the 7th is the workshop that I'm teaching at Madonna, which is a 2-day workshop, meeting on Friday in the afternoon, then 2 times on Saturday and 1 time on Sunday. So the main thrust of the workshop that starts on the 7th and ends on the 9th, and which is a workshop through Madonna. So I can send you the link. If you could send it around friends. I mean, maybe some people are that would like to take it and develop a daily practice and understand more, you know, what is this?
Okay.
It's not about asanas or gentle moves. Classical yoga and medical Taoist Qigong is about understanding the human being as a continuum of body, mind, and spirit.
August 9th, it seems like the end of the world.
I know. August 7th to 9th is the workshop at Madonna.
And at your place, nothing before the 7th, right?
At my place here, yeah, the Saturday workshops, like this Saturday, there is going to be a workshop.
Thank you so very much for confirming for those of us confused who don't have a calendar.
Oh, okay. So, okay, let me review it. This coming up Saturday, there is going to be 2 workshops, one at 11 o'clock in Spanish and one at 3 o'clock. Those are every Saturday. And yeah, so the only Saturday they are not going to happen is in the one when I'm in Madonna. How are you doing? How are you coping with it?
In general, fairly well. Thank you so very much. I'm so grateful you're here. I'm so grateful the technology even allows for me to participate somewhere when everything else is closed. I mean, I miss my yoga class, yoga for people with disability on campus. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yes, I am.
And if I'd mention Saraswati, she's the one who teaches it there.
She's not doing anything on Zoom?
I mean, I cannot do yoga without help.
Right. The one thing, Andre, that's possible, and this I have heard from different teachers, is that when one cannot move or can move, let's say, only one part, you kind of visualize the other part also move.
Yeah.
If you can yourself kind of relax into accepting, okay, I only can move half of the body or whatever, and then imagine the other, it could even be even more effective than when you had someone, you know, pulling you up and pulling you down and whatever. I mean, for example, with the chanting of Om, the Om that's heard, you know, this Om,
Yes.
is powerful than when you inhale and exhale and internally do the Om.
Okay.
So, you know, we usually feel that it's only the external part, the one that counts. But
Yeah.
if you could just remember how it was when you moved, and this time it's just you are a whole unit, your body, your mind, your visualization, you are just kind of going through some of your favorite movements. It
Right.
will have some effect.
Amelia, I am so grateful to be part of. Thank you for inviting me. For me, it's you're the vision, the person who makes it happen. It's so incredible, and I want to give you at least a virtual hug. Absolutely.
Be well. Take care.